Today on Project Pure Athlete, we're going to be looking at 3 steps to help fix your jumper's knee. Before we get started, hit the subscribe button below. We are this close to 10,000 subscribers and we'd love for you to join the family. Also, in the comments below, if you're dealing with jumper's knee right now, let us know some things that you've done that have been successful or some things that you're currently working on. This is Coach Ty here with Project Pure Athlete, and as I'd mentioned before, we're going to be going through 3 steps to helping fix your jumper's knee. As a former professional dunker and high-level track and field athlete, I know firsthand. I'm right there with you. I've dealt with jumper's knee on many different occasions, and until later in my career, I really didn't know the steps, the action steps to take to actually make a big difference. We are now very aware of the process in order to manage, treat, and recover from jumper's knee faster than we had in the past. So here we go with step number 1. First is going to be, how do I know if I actually have patellar tendonitis? How do I know if jumper's knee is really what I'm managing? It's going to be characterized by that pain and inflammation in that subpatellar or underneath the kneecap region, or right where it attaches to the shin bone on our tibia. You'll get pain to the touch. You might even experience pain when your clothes rub it the right way. I know exactly how that feels. I can remember distinctly days walking up and down stairs feeling like I just wanted to cry, and then sitting in things like car seats, or not like baby car seats, but you know what I mean, like car seats and movie theater seats, and just having that pain that creeps in, and you know what it feels like. You got to straighten the leg out. You have to get right into a kind of a weird position in order to alleviate a lot of that discomfort. If you have these, the likelihood is you're dealing with some degree of patellar tendonitis. Step number 1 is going to be remove the stimulus causing the pain. If it's jumping, take a step back from jumping. If it's running, take a step back from running. I know as an athlete that hearing stop doing what you're doing can be absolutely terrifying. You don't want to lose the gains you've made. You are absolutely obsessed with the process, and you can't imagine life without your sport. But sometimes we have to slow down in order to speed up. That's a saying that we love here at Project Pure Athlete. That doesn't mean be lazy, stop doing things, and don't do anything altogether, because that's not going to help either. We need to remove the stimulus causing the pain, which is going to be jumping, running, anything that ballistic that causes that repetitive stress to the joint. And then we are going to work with what's called progression. And here's the thing about tendons is they respond to speed, meaning that the higher the velocity of movement, the higher stress to the tendons. You imagine if you've been jumping and sprinting on a leg that is compromised, meaning that we have either weakness or we have tightness in certain areas, we're putting extra stress on that tendon at a very high rate of speed. So we need to control the velocity and reintroduce load or stimulus to the joint. So something like isometrics is going to be the first step back. Isometrics simply is contraction without movement at the associated joints. So something like a wall sit. And what you'll notice here is Coach Chase showing us an awesome wall sit. Now, if you're an athlete watching this that's a bit more seasoned, you've been around the block, the likelihood that a wall sit will provide enough stimulus to your tendons is low. So you can do something like load your wall sit. You can put more weight on your lap. The likelihood is you will have to have someone help you put that there for you, but you can add additional load. We need the stimulus and stress to the tendon to cause adaptation and change, and to build a more robust environment for strength and stability. You can do things like isometric split squats or Bulgarian split squats. You can even play around with Spanish squats, anything that loads the knee joint under tension with no movement. After we have isometrics introduced and we're in a pain-free setting still, we have load to the tendon but no firing up or flaring up of that area, we can get into slower moving eccentrics and concentrics. We can actually move through knee flexion and knee extension with load slowly. We want to create a change of shape of the tissue while under stress. This is going to, again, introduce a new variable of stress to the joint that will help create adaptation and change over time. The key here is managing pain, meaning that if you are doing something that is causing you discomfort to the joint, the likelihood is that it's either 1, too much weight, 2 is the mechanics of the movement are slightly off, or 3, the speed of the movement is too much. So we have to manage those 3 factors as we're progressing from isometrics and slow eccentrics, concentrics back into moving quicker and more explosively. Once we've created an environment that can withstand loading the joints, taking us through things like squat patterns, lunge patterns without pain, as we can start introducing things like controlled plyometrics back into the equation, something in the gym setting where you're working with a controlled amount of volume and through controlled rhythm and contact. You can start with something as simple as rhythm bounding, where you're just back and forth from foot to foot, or controlled pogo hops on 2 feet. Something like skipping or jumping rope can be effective at creating a controlled, slightly lower impact environment to help actually progress you back onto the floor. Be warned, be cautioned that progression still needs to take place as we introduce plyometrics back into the equation. We don't want to go directly from things like little pogo hops right back into full out jumping, because you have the most insight into your body. You know what feels good, but you also know when your ego is taking over, and it's in those moments that we have the ability to be the best possible athlete and the most responsible athlete we can. So take those moments to ask yourself, am I really ready for this? And remember progression. So let's recap. Step number 1, remove the stimulus causing the pain. If it's jumping, stop jumping. If it's running, stop running. We need to let the tendons breathe. Step number 2 is going to be introduce stress to the joint under control, meaning isometrics, slow eccentrics, slow concentrics. Step number 3 is going to be, once step 2 can be done with no pain, we can start to slowly introduce higher impact, higher velocity movements like plyometrics, and slowly moving back into our sport of play. Injuries are going to be part of your journey. I don't care who you are. The likelihood is at some point you're going to be managing some aspect of injury. So it's going to be in those moments, what do you decide to do? Do you become the responsible, pure athlete you know you are, or do you dive headfirst down the tunnel of bad decisions and come rolling out the other end a hot, steaming pile of garbage? Hot, steaming pile of garbage. If you found this video useful, please do us a favor, share it, smash the like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join our family. Like I'd mentioned before, we're dropping gems all the time. We're coaches and educators first and foremost, so whether you're an athlete or a coach, we have something for you. This is Coach Ty here with Project Pure Athlete, and we'll catch you in the next one. Again, this is Coach Ty here with Project Pure Athlete. Thank you, excuse me, or as we like to prefer, or as we like to refer to, as those can be performed with less and less or little to no, as you perform those plyometrics with treating jumper's knee, meaning, no, that's stupid. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers, and we'd love to thank each and every one of you that have... We try to drop great videos on the weekly in all different variations.